Yo, we are live for the Sunday service already. Michael is not showing up yet, I think, because we weren't live, but Michael has started the party early with a $10, was it a $10 super chat or something crazy like that? Michael, thank you so bloody much, mate. You legend. And what's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday service. Dave Christmas says, oh my god, Lloyd, what is it, my friend? Smash that like button. Look who's in the chat, everyone. Oh, okay, Dave Christmas. We've got Brazen, Magic for Beginners, Batman Stew is in the building, Matthew Braitman. Hey everyone, if everyone's having a wonderful day so far. Okay, welcome to the Sunday service. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to let some people jump on into the chat here. What have you guys been up to today? I got up early today and I have been busy for you guys getting the Tutorial Tuesday ready. So you can see, look at the bags under my eyes today. I got up super early o'clock because I wanted to film my Tutorial Tuesday like 8 a.m. because we are heading off to Germany at like 5 in the morning. David Peace says, happy Sunday. Yo, what's up? Currently constructing my next routine for upcoming gigs. Mike Magic Man. B says, hello, Lloyd. Greetings from Tampa. Flame emojis. All right, so first up, I want to say, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to get the chat going, but let me just confirm. Dave Christmas is Lee, right? I don't want to say his full name in case he doesn't want to know his username, but Dave Christmas, who's Dave, am I allowed to say your name in the chat, in the stream? He fulfilled his promise that he would drink a bottle of hot sauce because he lost the bet. And he has sent the video of himself drinking the hot sauce in. We got so many people in the chat. We got Kathy Evans, nice to meet you. Spade JM, Mark Stanley, Carl Selman. What's everyone saying? Hi, how do you not run out of ideas? Videos are so good, that's really kind of you. Mark Stanley says, sup boss, sup Mark. Love your stuff, very thankful, thank you so much. So Dave Christmas in the chat down below, name is Lee Holmes, and we had a bet running. Lee thought that I would hit 25,000 subscribers by the 25th of June. And I was confident because I know my stats that I was going to hit it a few days later. So it actually turned out to be, I think, like 6 days or a week later I hit it. And he said, I'll have a bet with you. So I said, I'll bet you, I'll give you like, I think it was, I don't know, like $100 worth of free magic. Or something. I can't remember what I bet, but it was whatever he wanted because I knew he wasn't going to win. And he said that if he did, then he would drink a bottle of hot sauce and record it. So he lost the bet and he drank the hot sauce. So I will be playing that video shortly to all of you once a few more people turn up here so you can all see him struggle with a bottle of hot sauce. Fair play. Show some love to Lee or / Dave Christmas. Drop some fire emojis in the chat down below to show your appreciation of him drinking the bottle of Tabasco sauce. He does it. It takes him about 2.5 minutes. I'll play the whole video very, very soon. We got Terje from Norway. Sam Sugarman, how are you? My fellow local Welshman. We have Michael that says, praise my Lloyd. May 10,000 dogs wagging their tail till your happiness. Oh, that'd be my dream. Hello to Brazil. Alex Bow, you were right, 25k, it could be done. I didn't think it would happen, but praise the Lloyd, says Liam Lebanon. Can't wait for today's stream. By the way, I have to send you an email, Lloyd, if you want to mark it as important. Thank you so much, dude. I will mark that as important. I like your video so much. It says Kuro TV. Roses in hand says nice beard haircut. About the haircut, yes, chili emojis for Lee. Here we go. I went to the barber shop this morning at like 10 a.m. And I said, look, I just want the sides cut short because the hair was hanging over, but just sort of keep the top long. And he said, no. I said, what do you mean? He said, no. I said, but I don't want it too short. I was going to think maybe of like growing it out. And he went, no, just cut my hair short. And I was like, okay. So my hair is now way shorter than I wanted it to be, but there we go. I literally said, well, he like took like one snip, and I was like, well, there's no going back, is there? And he's like, no. I was like, all right, thanks. And then I tipped the guy as well. Oh. Magical Beginners, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Tigger T says, the whole bottle? Yeah, actually, well, he just sent me the video for the stream, so I haven't watched it all the way through. So we'll watch it all together from the start. But you'll have to let me know if you can hear the sound, because when I tested it, I couldn't hear the sound on this end, so I'll be playing the sound through my phone if you can't hear it. Got Joshua Riley in the building. Yo, yo, yo. You should have come to me, mate. Cool car tricks made easy. I didn't know you did haircuts. I would have come to you. I would definitely have come to you. Look at all the fire emojis just for you, Lee. You're a man of your word. So shall we play the video of Lee to get the show started? Do you guys want to see the video of Lee drinking the hot sauce? Let's take a look. Let me know. I'm going to play it. Let me know if you can hear it on your side of the stream, because I don't know if that'll come up. But I have a plan, actually. I actually have a plan. If I play it at the same time on here, you should be able to listen. So if everyone's ready, I'm going to play it right now. This is Lee Holmes drinking a bottle of Tabasco sauce because he lost the bet on the subscriber challenge. So here we go.
Hey Lloyd, this is for you. Ready?
Look at him drinking that thing. I like his technique, by the way. Look how uncomfortable he is. Oh.
It's not coming out. That looks really wrong. Deep throating.
Go, fair play. Everyone show some love for Lee. I love that technique. What's he doing?
Keep going. Can't let him
Record,
down.
I would never do that. I think milk is spicy. I would never drink a bottle of hot sauce. I would never have done the challenge. Michael Lawrence says, yo, that's some technique. Yes, it is.
And there's more.
Listen to Lee's partner. That's what you want. Somebody who will egg you on when you're suffering.
Come on.
Look at these comments coming in.
It's very hot.
Keep
Hotter than
going.
I expected.
You wait till
I love
tomorrow.
that it was hotter than he expected. Like he thought, okay, it'll be easy.
And I'm a bin man.
Burns on the way in, burns on the way out. Keep going.
Burns on the way in, burns on the
Down
way
it,
out.
down it.
Holy. Fair play, he's going for it.
I'm actually crying.
Is this the adult channel?
Lloyd, mate, things I do for you.
Ring sting later.
Keep
Looks like a
going.
real pro, says Michael Lawrence.
It's that action.
Joey's an icebreaker idea for table hopping. Alright, He did do me a favor, you're right.
It's gonna chuck.
What is that about? What is that about? Michael Lawrence says, dude, please stop. Need to create a trick to recreate this. Yeah, what trick would I do to recreate this? So I didn't realize the video had finished and I was watching the live stream chat. Let's give it up for Lee. He did it. He drank the bottle of hot sauce. Was it the whole entire bottle of Tabasco sauce? I would never do that in a million years, but I was confident in my bet. I knew he was going to fail, so I took that bet willingly and I hedged it and I won. Look at these comments coming in. So let's get into it. Let's get into the session for the day. We got a lot going on. Tomorrow I'm heading out to Germany, to Frankfurt. And Michael has donated $5 in the super chat. Yo, thank you. This deserves more than OnlyFans. That's for you, Lee. If I see you in person, I'm giving Michael's $5 to you, my friend, because you earned that. You drank the whole thing. I have. By the way, I don't know why the super chat's goal is not updating. Can someone help me with the tech side of things? I'm an absolute idiot. He says this deserves more than OnlyFans. Not that I know what OnlyFans is, says Michael. If anyone's just tuning in, it is not OnlyFans, but you did miss some very interesting technique coming from Lee Holmes. Vinegar with half a chili in it. Oh, I wonder if that would... What that does. That says Jason Yocham. You make any bloke happy. Drink the hot sauce. I'm trying to catch up with these comments. Lloyd getting his friends and subscribe if you got close to 20. Yeah, I would be. I'd like to know what I'm doing a hot sauce. Tear the Tabasco. Okay, so we've got two good questions here. David Timroth says, what's the nail stab trick called? Nail roulette? That, but with a shot glasses, either strawberry jam or hot sauce. Okay, so you're on about a roulette effect, Russian roulette, or a smash and stab with hot sauce. That could be really fun. That could be a cool effect. I like the thing with those pieces is that they to the audience they are chance effects or luck. And I always like to infuse magic into it in a certain way. So I'd like to try and think about how you could make it feel magic. That would be a really interesting angle for this. Liam Lebanon asks, my question for today's stream, what do you think about the importance of logic in terms of the order of the tricks that you perform? That's an amazing question. And I touched on this last week. But I like to, if this is all about your question, I like to structure my effects in an order that will link them together. So, for example, if I'm gonna perform like a rubber band effect, a pen effect, and a bill effect, I'll try to structure it in a way that I have I'll do like a rubber band trick, then maybe I'll do a pen or pencil through rubber band, and then I'll use the pen and pencil to do a bill effect. So I'll do like a pencil through bill or a pen through bill, and then I'll use the bill later on to do like a serial number reveal. So the bill would be a borrowed one, and I would be switching it. And those effects link really nicely because you can start with bands like Crazy Man's Handcuffs, then you do Liquid Band by Vinnie Marini, then you can go into like the misled effect, or what I teach on my channel called Bankrupt with the pen through bill, and then you can end later on with like a toxic force reveal. And all those link together, and I feel it just... although it's good for yourself as a magician, I think it's good from the eyes of the audience because it looks to them like you're just doing magic with anything that comes to mind, but really it's all planned out. So I think it doesn't have to be done that way. I just think it adds to you as a performer when you can link them up that way. Teachu67 says, simple question, what's the only eye visible part on the world who has no shadows if it's lightning? What's the only visible thing in the world that has no shadow? I don't know what that question means. Could you elaborate a bit more, please? Or unless you mean something like the North Pole where they have the sun at a certain angle. Who was your mentor, says Trent Cooper. So my grandfather taught me magic from a young age, but not taught me like a mentor. He just showed me and got me into like the art of magic. But really, I am an only child. Don't have a father, and I live remote. Like there's not many magicians in my country. So my mentors in magic was old rerun VHS tapes of David Blaine. That's what I would consider the magic that I learned, and the people I learned from was things like that. Because I couldn't get hold of magic, I didn't have money to travel. I was too young, so I would just watch repeats of World's Greatest Magic that like my grandmother would record on TV on VHS me, and I would just copy those and try to figure out my own way. And I think that's where I kind of get like a creative flair from, is that I didn't know how the tricks worked, so I had to figure out my own ways. And as time's gone on, I've looked back at some of those effects that I would watch, and the methods that I have are totally different to what they were actually using. What's next? The toilet explosion. Josh, am I using center stage? No, Josh, I'm using OBS, and I have no idea what I'm doing with it too. Turjay Olsen says, "Can you show some card tricks?" Yeah, I can show some card tricks. I don't know what to show though. It's hard to show a card trick without anyone here. What's a card trick? I'll show you guys something interesting and fun. So this is a really simple card trick that needs no spectator to be here, but we'll use the top card, or we will give the deck a shuffle, so you know there's not in any order. But we'll use the top card of the deck, so we'll use the 2 of spades. And we'll place it about halfway down-ish into the center. We'll also use the top card, the 6 of clubs. The idea is really simple. You shake the 6 and it swaps places with the 2. The cool thing is, if you pull the 2 out of the deck, you can see that it really has switched with the 6. So that's a little transpo effect. I call it the Virgin Transpo for Virgin Media, based off of Dan and Dave's TiVo Transpo. And it just, let me get a smoother deck. Do I have a smoother deck around here? This is like really janky. Hold on. Let me see. This is kind of smoother. This is a little bit better. So again, I'll show you one more time. We'll use 2 of diamonds. What's up with all the 2s today? Goes into the center of the deck. We'll also use the next card down. The 6 of clubs. Okay, that was way too coincidental. But we can actually go ahead and take that 6 out and show that it jumps. So it's a really simple, really easy to do transpo effect. If you want to learn it, just put some eye emojis down below and I'll teach it to you super quickly. It's very, very easy. I don't think it's going to fool any magicians. It's a really fun thing to do, just as a quick sort of intro effect. Yuan Monkey says, "Hey, are you friends with Chris Ramsey?" Yeah, I know Chris. We actually used to work together at a magic company for about a year or so. And I've been to Toronto with Chris and where else? Some other places. But yeah, when we partied together in Blackpool and a bunch of places. Brazen says, "What advice?" Oh, sorry. Before Brazen, we have Carl Selman that says, "Do you do any misdirection based on hypnosis effects?" I don't think I do any misdirection based on hypnosis effects. I don't really do any hypnosis effects. But the hypnosis stuff that I do like, it comes from a great project called True Mysteries from Fraser Parker, which is all hypnosis-based magic, but it's more suggestion. It's really, really interesting, but it was put up in 1914, about 6-7 years ago, called True Mysteries. All right, here's those eye emojis. Let me teach this to you before I forget. And by the way, there's probably going to be a quick live stream today, folks, because I am packing up for Germany. And I'll tell you about it in a minute. I have made a fatal error. I have made a terrible error. And that's why you've just seen me post all over social media that I'm looking for people in Frankfurt. So if you know anyone in Frankfurt that could help me out tomorrow, please let me know. I am in dire straits. But I'll teach you this effect right now, first and last. All right, so one more time, I'll show you the effect. The deck is shuffled, borrowed. You show the top card is the queen. The queen can go into the center of the deck, and that's about halfway down. You're also going to use the top card, 7, which is like a nice contrast. They switch places, and the nice thing is you can pull the 7 out and show that it was in the center. So the way this works is I'll show you the mechanics, and I'll show you how it works, and I'll show you why it works. So the first thing you can do is you're going to get a triple. So you can do that by either pushing over 3 cards and getting a pinky break, or getting a pinky break from a fresh start. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to turn that double over. Now, I always do this triple, from the corners. So I grab the top corners of the card and I flip it like a shapeshifter change, just because I never want to risk accidentally splitting it, you know. So I turn this triple over. I show it like this. And then I'm going to turn it and put it in the deck. Now, what you see me do in the performance is I used Bill Goodwin's variation of Roy Walton's paintbrush change to offload the other 2 cards, but you can just turn it over face down. So now I'm going to input that X card. So what they think is the 3 of hearts is going to stay on top. Third down now, but it will be second from top. So at speed, we're going to show that 3. Place it into the center. Now this is a random X card. This card doesn't matter. Next, you're going to turn over the top card. And as you do, you'll push over the second card with it. So that allows you to get a break at the same time. So I'm going to turn over the top card, and short end, and get a break under both of them. Now you can do any change you want. You could do a duck change, you could do a twirl change. I do the shapeshifter change as much as I can, because I just like the way it feels. And I also give this little flick convincer when I finish it. So I'm here, I do a change, and when I finish the change, I pin it with my thumb on top of the deck, right? So from here, I go boom, and I pin it, and I do this little flick, and it just feels, it adds this feeling of fairness to it. And now it's going to come the important part. This is the switch. So it's going to just look like you're going to take that card out of the deck. But the reality is you're going to switch it for the King of Diamonds. And that, oops, if you get it right, that, let me square these up, looks like this. And what's important is that you do need a fresher deck than this really old, beaten up deck of black cherries. But that's the move. I'll show you what's happening from underneath. So X card is in the deck. This is the card you're going to switch for. From underneath, I'm going to come over. I'm going to insert this double into the deck. And see how it's jamming because I'm using a worn deck? You want a fresher deck. But I'm going to insert the double into the deck like this. And as I pull forward, as if I'm pulling this card out, I'm going to just square this card in. And at the same time, I'm just going to split this double. And it creates this really nice retention of vision that you just pull the card out. So let's try this from the top. Get a triple and switch it over. You say, look, this is the 10 of clubs. Watch the 10 of clubs. I'll show you from the exposed view, actually. The 10 of clubs goes into the center. We'll show the top card. We'll change that top card. We'll show it. Now from the performance angle, we'll turn over the top card. It's the 7 of diamonds. That 7 goes into the center of the deck. Watch the 8 as it swaps with the 7, just like this. You can now see both cards have changed places. And the reason why this works is because I sat down and I placed a card, and I was trying to figure out what it would look like if you could really do it, right? I placed a card in the center of the deck, and I figured, what's an organic way of retrieving this card without simply tilting your hand up? Because there are methods out there where you do this sort of switch and pretend that it was in the middle, and that relies on, as you turn your hand over, you do this. And it just never feels to me that it looks real. It's kind of, it never just feels right to me. But I was sitting down, and I realized that people take a card out of the deck like that, especially when they're going through and they're stripping cards out, they'll do this move, which to me looks really fair and organic. So I just structured the routine around that and realized there was an area that I could exploit where if I had a double, I could use this card to collect and at the same time switch it out. Now there's a bunch of different routines you can do with this. There's so many different routines you can do. You can do like nice matching effects. So if you had a random prediction card on the table, you could place it down, and then you could have someone so say this is my, I'll actually show you what I mean. So say the 2 of diamonds is my prediction, I'll leave that there. And I want to force the 2 of hearts. Do we even have one in here? Oh, let's use the 2 nines because they're right near the top. So this would be my prediction card. I'll leave it there. Or I can just leave it on top. It really doesn't matter. But you can have someone say stop anywhere you like. So say they stop this card. You outjog the random card. And you ask them, do they want to change their mind? Is that 100% a fair choice? You pull out the random card and show that it matches. And again, it's very simple. You just have this card on top. What's nice is you can show it from the beginning. You can do a false shuffle, retaining the top 2 cards. Spread through the deck. Have a card touched and outjogged. Ask them, do they want to change their mind? Do they want to put it back in? Are they happy with it? And then again, you just execute the switch. And there. So you can use it for other things. You can use it for multiple card reveals and a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, I call that the Virgin Transpo based on Virgin Media. So I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought down below. And if I'm sorry if I talked too long about it. All right, I'm going to go back up through some of these questions. Oh, actually, let me tell you about what's happened with Germany. So I'm going to Frankfurt. The premiere is at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. The airport is about 20 minutes away from the city centre. However, I booked the wrong airport, which is 2.5 hours away from the city centre. Yeah. The wife, Kaylee, is coming with me. We land at 3 p.m., 2.5 hours away from the city centre. And the only bus that we can get takes off at 4. So we would get to the city centre at 4:30 p.m. before checking in, showering, getting dressed and ready for the premiere. We'd get to the city centre at 6:30. Then we'd have to get showered and dressed and then head to the premiere for 7 p.m. I don't think we're going to do it. And this entire whole round trip was like cost us like nearly £1,000 already. And it looks like we won't make the premiere. So I'm kind of like hoping for the gift of human kindness to come and somehow rescue us. Apparently, if you drive it by car, it's only like an hour and a bit, hour and a half to get from the Hahn airport to Frankfurt city centre, where we need to be, which would make it possible. So if we can't do that, then we're going to miss it. And we're just going to end up, I don't know, maybe not even go in. So that's the predicament that we're in. The premiere is Looking for Erdnase. It's the documentary on Erdnase. We've been invited to go. Jeremy Griffith called me a couple of days ago and said, do I want to go? He was on the phone with the director, Hans. And yeah, we said yes, sort of for a laugh. And I messed up by booking the wrong airport. Go Lloyd. Okay, so let me just go through some of these comments. Where was I? All right. Brazen says, what advice would you give to magicians that may be suffering from imposter syndrome? It's tough. I suffer with imposter syndrome massively. It's one of the biggest issues that I have. I don't feel that people should be watching me. I don't think that people should be perform my magic. I get it all the time. I always feel weird about stuff. My advice for it is that the more people I speak to about imposter syndrome, the more people I find out have it, including the magicians that I look up to and the people outside of magic that I look up to in different fields. I feel like everyone has it. And if you don't have it, I think that like some people are like way too confident. I always think it's good to sort of feel that you're just winging it and you're not legit in a way, or because I feel like I'm always the student, never the master. And I think that comes hand in hand with a bit of imposter syndrome. So I think embrace it is what I'm saying. And just know that you're not the only one feeling it. And often, like, sometimes the people that you look up to the most have it too. I hope that helps. Matt Hamilton says, any update on Maxim? Yes. Even today, we were adding new features to it. And the reason why it hasn't launched yet purely is very simple. We just haven't got... Well, we have now. It's now closed off. We now have all the footage in the bag for the trailer. I'm editing the trailer. I didn't have all the footage I needed. And that's not because of Brazen. Brazen's my friend, been helping me. It's from the US side of things. We couldn't get all the footage we needed straight away. So I had to hold off. Now I would be editing it this weekend coming, but I'm off to Frankfurt tomorrow, and then the session convention. So unless we want to rush it, which we don't, it'll be after the session convention. So I hope that helps or answers the question. OF Magic says, "What up, Lloyd? What's up, man?" Tickety says, "The fact that your grandmother helped you is very sweet." Yeah, she was awesome. She helped me go to Blackpool once just to see David Blaine, like just to look at David Blaine. Chris James says, "The Brazen, talk to me on Facebook. Craig's been working with me on this. I'll share." Thank you, Chris, for offering some help. And Michael says, "Brazen, don't just realize that she is doing something that no one else can do." Yeah. And Brazen, I've seen you perform magic. Like, I've watched you perform magic a lot. You are incredible. And if you feel like you have imposter syndrome because of your magic, you are incredible, my friend, and you are leaps and bounds ahead of so many magicians that I've seen. Ryan Phillips, "What's your opinion on modern TV magic like Chris Angel, Dynamo, and Troy?" Great question. I mean, I've worked with 2 out of 3 of those names, and my opinion on them is that they're all really, really passionate, hard-working guys, and they put a lot into their craft. And I think they've really helped lead the way for magic. Now, the one that I'm least probably geared towards is Chris Angel, because I'm really not into the actor side of things. I really don't like it when you use stooges the wrong way. I won't say anything about the other guys' material, but I will say that, we've all seen the Chris Angel stuff where he uses stooges the wrong way. He just uses flat-out actors. There's an art to using actors in live TV, and the art comes to, for a perfect example, the Balducci levitation by Blaine. He was filming people's real reactions to him showing them a real levitation on the street. But the audience at home wouldn't have that same feeling if they watched the same reaction, because they can pause, rewind it. So they tactfully use positioning of actors to recreate that same feeling at home. That is smart. That's the right way of doing it. I don't think Angel does. And so I choose not to work with certain people. I will say no. I've done it a lot. But I've worked with Troy, worked with Dynamo, would be happy to do it again. I just think they're amazing, and the style of magic that they choose to perform is brilliant, and it's modern and it's current, and they push the boundaries. Jordan says, "Hey man, just got a pizza, cheesy garlic bread, fried chicken strips, onion rings, and a bottle of Coke for £19. Best local ever." Dude, please don't talk to me about food. As you might notice, I put on a couple of pounds this last week because I've just been so crazy. It's been hard to eat healthy, so I'm doing a 72-hour fast whilst traveling to Germany. And I started last night, so I'm only like 18 hours in or something, and it's going to kill me, so I don't want to talk about food. Matthew Brakeman, "Have you worked with fire, and any advice for those learning?" I haven't worked with fire, but 2 friends of mine are involved with pyrotechnics in magic. One is Jared Manley, who's the special effects pyrotechnics coordinator on a lot of movies and TV shows like Game of Thrones, and he does a bunch of stuff with Apple now, and he's the go-to guy I speak to when it comes to fire stuff, which I very rarely have anything to do with. And the other one is a friend of mine that passed away, which is a guy called Steve Trulia, who was a stuntman in movies and a fire expert, fire safety hazard expert. He was in, I think he was in some Mission Impossible films and stuff. Tragically passed away a couple of years ago. And he would always say that when you're working with fire, he would get so angry at people that didn't seek professional advice before working with fire. And he was right about it. So I think if you are going to work with fire, look for a professional that's trained in fire safety, especially within the showbiz arena, and then start to work with fire. Because to see my friend Steve so passionate about it was left an impact on me and made me realize that I would never work with fire in magic unless I had somebody there at all times or got the professional help I needed beforehand before doing it. Carl Salma says, when do you release the app? It seems like the best app effect I've ever seen. Oh, that's really, really kind of you, man. And yeah, like I just said, hopefully just after the session convention. Brazen asks, what are the meanings behind some of your tattoos? Are they magic related? I'll do a whole video. I keep getting asked this. I'll do a whole video. Mostly all of them are magic related. Or I'd say like 1, 2. Oh my gosh. What are we doing here? Who's that? Michael again. Mind freak. Okay. Let me read that. Michael, thank you so bloody much, man. Thank you. What is going on? Like, I still don't know how to get the tip counter to go up. But it's like at least at like $15, nearly $20 right now. And mostly, all of that is thanks to Michael. Mind freak. How many people hate me right now? I love that Michael's just like trolling everyone with this. Thank you so much, dude. Well, there's so many comments. Let me get back to this. When I released the app, meaning, so yeah, I'll do a whole video on them, but I have a bunch of magic related tattoos. I try to hide them in like a tactful way. Alex Bow, what's my go-to takeaway? Chinese food, all the way, mate. Chinese food is my kryptonite. Cool card tricks, mate. He says, got a bit of a problem, mate, with your card trick with the blank cards and the one red card which they pick and you put in the hand. Got the trick down, but one's like problem. Cannot do 2-card pickup with one hand. Do you mean like a 2-card pickup, like a double, like that or something? It's one of those things, it doesn't come naturally, I don't think, to mostly all of us. You just got to like repeat, just practice that. And that's where learning to become a magician comes in, just doing that graph to finally get difficult sleights down. Grot Grunson says, good afternoon. What a lovely weekend it's turned out to be. Stand-up on Friday. AIK lost their game on Saturday. June Gardens beat Hammarby in Stockholm Derby, and now you is live. Awesome. I think that's football talk. Liam says, my question was more about the logic of trick and the skills we demonstrate with them. Could a mentalism piece be weakened by a sleight of hand trick that precedes it? Can methods cancel each other? Oh, right. Okay. Absolutely. And the most basic form, like you're already thinking like this, so I'm just going to explain it for everyone else at the service here today, is that if you were to do some flourishing moves and then show someone that the card on top of the deck is going to magically change, my personal belief, and I think many others' personal belief, is that doing that destroys any hope that you have of being considered a magician. I remember years ago I went through a small phase of trying to be flashy and spring cards. If I'm performing, I won't do these moves. I won't spring cards. I won't do the flash stuff. I only do this for practice. And I remember going through a tiny phase where I was into flourishing a little bit. And I went and performed. I did some flourishing stuff. And then I did 2-card Monty, I think it was, which is a piece of magic. And the people were like, oh my God, your hands are so quick. I didn't even see you switch them. That was just, wow, how do you train to do that? And I remember just thinking, oh, they just put it all down to skill. They didn't put it down to what's just come through now. What is this? Midrin, thank you so much, dude. Oh, Midge, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Thank you, legend. Hey, Kit Kat money. Oh, you evil. You're evil. You know that I'm starving right now, and you're giving me money for Kit Kats, which is like my kryptonite. I hate you right now. So yeah, I think it really can cancel out. I think if you do show that you have crossover skills in what you're attempting to show them, for example, I don't know. I always think that if you're going to do stack work, but just before it, you show them that you can memorize lots of things in order, like you're going to do a memory feat or maths feats. Then you do stack work. Sometimes that can make them go, oh, okay, maybe he's just remembering everything. I don't know. But I'm completely with you. And I think the logic of your tricks should absolutely be thought through 100% before performing them. And I also think about the audience you're performing to as well. So some people, if they are, if you're going to perform to mathematicians, maybe don't go and do a magic square. Or do a magic square because it'll interest them. But yeah, I think the logic of the effects that you choose is very important, and also who you choose to perform to, or what you choose to perform to what groups of people. That's why I always think it's so important to find out more about your audience or your spectators before you do tricks, and have a bank of tricks instead of just going to bum rush them with whatever plan set you have. Magic for beginners. Holding fire in hands can be done with bubbles and gas. It'll light up and burn away. Okay, fast. There's a few things on YouTube about this. So yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with fire stuff. Edie Vishal Velmicki says EDC visual impromptu. Yeah, I'll conjure something up now. Daniel Chart says silly sausage. Cheers, Daniel. This is about the airport thing. Craig Chadburn says, wow, my first live Sunday set. Been practicing for a month or so now. I'm watching all that stuff and I've made the angel gimmick and I appreciate all the content. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Alex Bo says, what about a hire car from the airport? Yeah, it's an option, but I've never driven in Germany and I wonder, like, would it just, by the time I only have like a 2.5 hour window, really? By the time I mess around with doing all that, then would I be stuck in what has just happened? Cool Card Tricks Made Easy has just donated £20. Dude, thank you so much. My God. I don't know why the super chat's not updated. Cool Card Tricks Made Easy, thank you so much, my friend. Man, what is going on? That's over, like, I think it's about $40 in revenue now. Guys, I need to update this, like, super chat ticker. I need help. Someone help me, please. Thank you so much, Cool Card Tricks Made Easy. Wow. Okay. This is thank you. Enclemonte, hey, what's up? Daniel Hyde is very natural. Really looking forward to Maxim. Can't wait. Is brazen. Has there been any more logo submissions? Actually, Awesome A13, there was one more logo submission. It came through today. I'll show you guys the logo that came in on my where is it? On my inbox. Somewhere on here. Where is it? Oh, I don't know where it's gone. Let me find this for you. It came through, I'm sure it was today. Okay. Yeah, this was the logo. Not my favorite logo of all of them, but I'm so happy that people are attempting it and doing it. So that was the logo that came in today. Someone designed. I think I'm going to stick with the one that we voted on maybe last week, which was my one, which is egotistical of me. But yeah, but thank you so much for sending that in. That was that you? That came in from Adam Salim. So thank you so much for sending that in, dude. And if you guys like Adam's logo and you prefer it to the ones from last week, then tell me in the chat and we'll use that one. Daniel Chard says, what am I working on at the moment? At the moment, I am, what am I working on? I'm trying to get ahead of myself for Tutorial Tuesdays and prepare the membership. So I'm currently like creating like a scatterbrain, which is the norm, like crazy. But I'm working on, actually, I'll tell you what I am working on. I'm working on some really, really, really hardcore effects to use with my index, me and Javier's index. We've been brainstorming and jam sessioning some really, really fun stuff that can be done with the index that just sort of makes it feel super impossible. So that I'm working on any tricks that can be done with a full card index. Things like putting a one-way force deck in there and writing numbers on the back of all the cards instead of having a full 52 deck and things like that. So you can get creative and have like any kind of numbers with an index. What has just gone on? Alex Bow, oh my god, dude, thank you so much. That's a £5 or $5 tip from a super chat from Alex Bow. Thank you so much, dude. I'm going to answer your question ahead of everyone else. Do you have any routines with the Orphic wallet? I've just got it and I've been learning them. Just wondering if you do anything with it. PTL, hashtag PTL. I do, and I put a video on my channel about 3 months ago, and the routine that I did to it was on an episode of Fuller. It was then called the Wife Test, and that episode, with what I do with it is a signed, torn and restored card routine. So I know it's a peak wallet, But I use it for a signed, torn, and restored card routine. So if you actually go through my channel, you can see the full performance and it's the full tutorial as well on there. And it's actually a really fun effect. And I'm glad you asked that question because I actually want to dig that out and start doing it, especially after performing Chop on her a couple of days ago. But thank you so much for the super chat, and that was a great question. Okay, there's so many comments. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, that was from Dan Char. Just got the Orphic wallet, so I've been learning that this weekend. Can't wait to try it. That's there. Chris James has got imposter syndrome. Bad. Who am I? I don't get hate for it. Craig is the best person to talk to for that one, Chris James, and I know he's gonna coach you well on it. Stu Batman says, "Can we get your thoughts on the Dan and Henry situation?" Yes, absolutely. My thoughts on it is that, look, YouTube and exposure. It's very different. I think we've evolved a lot since the dawn of YouTube and when people first started putting stuff on YouTube, exposing things on YouTube. I see it as this is quite a simple way of looking at it for me, is that it's never going away. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't put the feathers back in the pillow. People are going to teach magic on YouTube. And the key word is teach. And I'm comfortable teaching on YouTube because I feel like I'm going to do a decent job of teaching people, right? And the stuff that I teach is my material. So no one can stop me. It's my material. I research it and credit it as much as I can. I'm free to teach it. What Dan did was take someone's trick and just expose it. Someone else's work and just expose it. It's not on. It's completely out of order and he shouldn't have done it. And he knew not to do it because he'd done it before and said he would change. So he 2 strikes, and in my opinion, you're out. So, he knew what he was doing. He knew that it would get him money from views and subscribers from views. And he had an option to not post that video or make that video or to post it, knowing the repercussions that would happen. And he chose to do it anyway. So, yeah, really, really, really lame of him to do that. He knew he was doing wrong, did it anyway. And poor Henry has had, a massive amount of his life's work trashed in 30 seconds to, millions of viewers all over the world. And that's my thoughts on it. I think it sucks. He's free to teach his own creations. He's not free to teach everyone else's. What do you guys think? I'd love to know your thoughts on the situation. Jordan's been learning mnemonica, pretty much got the whole thing down in 45 minutes, just need to keep going over it to get it foolproof. Yeah, mnemonica I find is easy to learn, it's just about reminding yourself to do it to refresh that memory. What is this? New subscriber. What's up, Tyler? Welcome to the channel, my friend. If you're watching the live stream right now, hello. Vishal Mickey says, slightless card peek for both left and right-handed. My favorite one ever is this one, is where you say stop, remember this card, and I know it's the Jack of Spades, or it's Jack of Spades. I think that I'll tell you why I'm going to talk about this openly, because it shouldn't be mine to talk about, but Dan White calls this everyone's peek, because it's the most practical peek in the world, right? You dribble the cards, you look away, you say remember this card, and you lose it back in. I know what it is, and it just looks super fair. And he calls it everyone's peek because when he thought he created it, it turns out everyone had created it before because everyone does it, because it's just very easy to do but very, very fooling. And so all you do is as you dribble the cards, you tell them to stop. As soon as they say stop, you look to them to look at the card, and literally you're just gonna peek at that card. And I've done this thousands of times. It's the easiest peek in the world and it never gets caught. You say, I'm going to look away, say stop right here, remember this card, we'll lose it back in the deck, King of Clubs, easiest thing, and you can do it depending on which way you dribble the cards. We had a super chat come in from Stu Batman. Dude, thank you so much. Why did you do that? Thank you so much for the super chat, mate. That's for Kaylee for giving us some amazing reactions, especially in the last Fooler. Amazing effect. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was That Fuller episode that I shot the other day with Kaylee, that was something special. I wasn't expecting to capture that. I wasn't expecting to get that on camera. And it's really, like Chad asked earlier, what am I working on now? It makes me want to work on more effects like that. Sasha Rano says, hi from Oldenburg, Germany. Sasha, are you by any chance near Frankfurt tomorrow? Near Hahn Airport? Because if so, me and Kaylee would really appreciate a ride to the city centre. Hashtag kind of serious. Alright, I'm going to catch up with some of these comments. Keep the magic real. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Hey, Andrew Niners in the video, in the stream. What's going on, Andrew? I'm going to try to get a performance of Boombox filmed at some point this week. I just need to come up with a routine that suits me for it. Madriv says, all the way from Suriname. I love your tutorials, they're fantastic. I stopped doing magic about a year ago, but you are slowly lighting the fire again. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for letting us know about that. Bloody hell, thank you, mate. I love it when people tell me they're back into magic or they're getting into magic because of the videos I put up. It makes it all worth it. Chris James says they stopped doing springing and doing flashy cuts because people wanted to see more of that. Give every move, every word, every beat intention and fluidity. Make your magic much better. Spot on, 100%. Magic Steven says, just joined. When will your new index be released? Roughly September time. Luke the Devil. I want the shirt logo from last week. How long will it take to put some of those up for sale? I will do it when I get back from the session. I'll put those logos onto a shirt for you guys, so you can get them, and it'll be after the session convention, unless I can find time to do it in the meantime. You like how the jack looks in the logo, because you can play. Will you ever release your own deck of cards through Illusionist, USPCC, or even Belgium? I'll never release a deck with Illusionist. I'll never release anything with them ever again. But I might release my own deck. If anything, it'll be releasing through Murphy's where I work. So I'm a creator at Murphy's, and yeah, if I was to release my own deck, which I may or may not be working on right now, then I would release through Murphy's. On that note, would anyone want a deck of mine? Chopstick reaction. Seto Silva. Lloyd, how goes it? I'm good. How goes it, Cito Silva? Seto? Alex, I love Sister K's reaction to Chop. It was amazing to see. Yeah, it was really, really special. I'll never forget that performance. So glad we got on camera. Tickety says I was laughing so hard when you did Fuller and trick Kaylee into thinking that the camera was off. Like, yeah, that was real. Genuinely, I knew when it, like, people are always so much more natural when they think they're not on camera, when they're not being recorded. Kaylee's really good. She's herself anyway, but everyone sort of has a barrier up. Even me on this live stream, I don't mean to, but you have this sort of barrier which you can't really remove. So I've always had this thought that, like, when I'm recording, the best reactions come when the camera's off. So when I knew she was starting to react like that, I thought, I have to. I'm gonna get this to be captured. So I went and did it, and yeah, it paid off so well. Matthew Brayman said, I have my chop coming tomorrow. Can't wait to fool my wife. Oh my God, Matthew, if you can film it, and if you want to, we'll play it on the Sunday service next week if you want. But I'd love to see it either way, whether you feel comfortable sharing it with all of us or not. This is what it's all about, guys. It's creating magic and sharing it. Turji also says, can you show how to turn the card in the first card tricks? What do you mean by turn the card? Like just a triple lift? Turn it over? Like that? Just trying to catch up on these comments. Cool Card Trick says, we'll be changing my name to Elwyn White soon. Okay, Cool Card Tricks made easy. It's too long. Okay, Elwyn White. I will keep an eye out. Please remind us that it used to be your name, though, because as you've seen last week, I'm terrible with the usernames. Hi from Old. Oh, that's that one. Actually, I think Dan was bang out of order to give away effects, especially when they're not his. Yeah, he was. Oh, Stu says Tiggity, Matthew Bateman, some fire emojis from Brazen there. Stu Batman says Dan should be ashamed of himself. Just goes to show how much he does really care about other creators. Yeah, it's as simple as that. It sucks because he seems like a nice kid, but ultimately he chose the wrong path more than once. Energy Future. Can anyone tell me how Penn and Teller pull off their version of the bullet catch? I mean, my goodness, what an insane trick. This is a good example, actually, Energy Future. We don't discuss other people's methods here. We only like talk about what we create or what I create. So we can't tell you what their method is because it's not ours to share. Legend Kaylee makes the video so much better, says Craig. Sasha Rano says, did you ever work with Phoenix cards, Card Shark from Essen in Germany? I don't even think I've held a deck of Phoenix cards, but I've always wanted to. Actually, I own a deck of I have a double deck of Phoenix cards. I had them in mind for something, but I never ended up getting around to doing it. Michael says, maybe you should do a reverse Have trying to fool me. Yeah, that's a plan. We were going to have Craig teach us something that he would be confident would fool me, which I haven't got around to doing yet. What's just happened? New subscriber. Rosa of Prague. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Brazen asks, Lloyd, as you have been working, creating, etc. within the Magic community longer than others, have you experienced like a golden era, like no tit for tat, etc.? No, I think we are in a golden era. I think now Magic, the community at least, feels more open than ever before, because back when I started, everything was on forums. We didn't have social media. It was all done through like the old Illusionist forums or the Dan and Dave forums, the Magic Video Depot, Magic Cafe, and social media wasn't a thing. You didn't have these social profiles to attribute most people to. So mostly everything was done behind usernames. And when people do that, unfortunately, people tend to get pretty mean when they're completely anonymous. And you can see it mainly a great example of it is on the Magic Cafe, where mostly almost everyone is anonymous, and the stuff they say is awful because they know they won't get the blame for it. But nowadays, it's much harder to if you say something and you want to be mean, you got to stand behind it and accept the backlash or the response that you get to it. So I think now, if ever, now is the golden age of working together, because people are held accountable for what they do on the whole, unless they use anonymous accounts. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I just think that I'm trying to think if there ever was a golden era. I think we are really in it, to be honest. Tiggity says, I love as soon as the camera was off, both of you were cussing a lot. Yeah, we swear like sailors. We swear constantly. It's just it's the local area that we live in. It's what we do. I feel terrible, but Sasha says, no, sorry to being in Frankfurt. No worries, Sasha. It was just a cheeky question. Too far away, he says. Grissa said, personal Uber order online. I looked at Uber and it's like $200 for an Uber. I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. I may have to end up biting the bullet and doing it though. Stu Batman says, who did the bullet catch better, Blaine or Penn and Teller? Two different mediums really, isn't it? Blaine did it on TV. I can't remember if he does it live. I haven't seen him do it live. Maybe he does. But the TV version of Blaine doing it was amazing, because that slow-mo shot and everything, it really, really sold the effect. But then Penn and Teller did it with an audience. So who did it better? I think Blaine did it better. But that could be a controversial opinion. Will you be showing the orange trick at some point, or is that someone else's? That's Craig's trick, Chop. But maybe one day we'll get Craig on here again, and he can teach it, because you still have to buy the prop. So maybe he'll come on here and teach it. Morgan May says, thank you for recommending Christine Grace's monthly membership. I joined last month and everything in there is absolute gold. Yeah. Christine Grace's Magic membership, if you're not a member, is just perfection. It's just the best stuff ever, and it's such a hidden gem. Brazen asks, can we get a vlog style video of the session from starting point to flight back? Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to fly to the session convention. Session convention is in London. But I will be vlogging the entire thing. Yes, the Lloyd deck. Yes, Lloyd deck. Oh, that jumped. Yes, please, a Lloyd deck. I'd buy a Lloyd deck. Yes, 10 bricks. Jasper Cherry. Hey, Jasper, how you doing, buddy? You should definitely make a Lloyd deck, and I can't wait to see you next weekend. Yeah, I can't wait to see you too, man. It's been great to hang out and meet you properly for the first time. Stu said I got the Sinners and need to get your other decks. Would love to see a new deck. All right, that sounds like you all want one, so I'll do it. Oliver Vinacore, question. I got the original Laws of Attraction by Shooter-Gower. The box is black, and it says on the disc that it was limited to only 50 copies. Is it worth anything? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I'm guessing if it's on disc, then maybe not as rare as VHS. But there's places like Potter Auctions. I think they're called Potter Auctions on Instagram, and they sell rare magic items, and you can get them appraised there. I think let me find that username for you. But this is a magic auction site especially for magic props. So let me find that name for you to help you out. There we go. Potter Auctions. Where's my camera? That's the Instagram page, and they sell magic memorabilia as an auction style thing. So if it is worth anything, that would be a great place to have it appraised. Where am I? There's the comments right here. First, I thought the sound was very high. I was at the very high end. Then I realised it was only very Lloyd. Fantastic. New subscriber, Magic Stevens. Magic Stevens, you weren't subscribed already. What's wrong with you, my friend? Dark Project Studio says, I would pay pretty much for one of deck yourself. You seem to be obsessed with quality. Yeah, man, I would make sure. This is the reason why I haven't put a signature Lloyd Barnes deck out, is because I'm never happy with anything I design, and it would have to be like absolutely mint, perfect before I put it out. And I keep designing them, keep scrapping them, keep designing them, keep scrapping them, and I wanted to just do everything. Other than your index and your apps, do you have anything else coming out this year? Also, if I can help with sorting the t-shirts out while you're away, let me know. That's really kind of you, man. The thing I have coming out as well is Pro Caps, which is the bottle cap project with a stack of coins, which we filmed, and Midge did the trailer, and it's almost ready. Brazen said, I see a segment formulating here with the community, Sunday testimonies, maybe a few vids of the community performing something, asking something. Guys, if you send any videos to show on this live stream, this is an amazing point by Brazen. If you show any videos to put on this live stream, I will play them. If you want to if you want your magic reviewed, if you want to show a creation, email it in and we'll play it on the live stream. And I'll do a live review of it, or whatever you want us to talk about, we'll do it right here on these Sunday sessions. So if you have any content that you want shared, email me and I'll play it in the next Sunday session. Thanks for that comment, Brazen. Stuart Canwell. Okay, you can start now. I'm ready. All right, thanks, Stuart. We'll start now. Thank you, mate. You haven't missed anything. Like a confessional, but doing magic instead of saying whatever sin you did in the week. That'd be good. I'd love to get your card, so we need to have them made. PTL. Yeah, I'd have to put PTL on it, wouldn't I? Just for you guys. Hey man, be doing a mem deck. Doing ACAM with a mem deck, but with two decks. One's a mem deck, the other's shuffled. Yeah, that's called, Jordan, that's called mnemonicosis when you do that. So that's in Tamariz's book, Mnemonica. One in mem deck, one shuffled, and you can do some amazing ACANs with that. Vada Raghavendra, send me your contact number. No, sorry. It was no point. Like Sean found out and Lee found out. When I do share my number, you're gonna get replies from me once a week, twice a week, and I'm just useless at texting. I'm a face-to-face talker, so no point in having my number. But you can have my email address. It's admin@lloydbarnes.co.uk. Where's I just seen that comment from Terje. You hold the card with your middle finger and thumb. You spin the card around to help with your thumb. Do you mean like this? I can show you that. So I'm just putting my thumb in this bottom corner here when it's face down. So basically the opposite sides to the indices. And then I use my ring finger a little bit to start the turn and my index finger to continue it. So it's just that. You can actually do a full rotation if you want. But for a triple, you do this. Is that what you're on about? Mag session. That's a good name. Mag session. We could use that. We could use that if you guys send in some video. I'll do that. Magic for beginners. Want to have a chat about merch sometime? Been doing bits and bobs with other magicians over time with my clothing company. Can get you prices that currently is still a good markup. Yeah, man. Magic for beginners. I'm totally interested. I was never gonna do merch. You guys asked for some stuff, so I put it up there. I'm no good at it. Magic for beginners. If you email me at admin@lloydbarnes.co.uk, I'd love to chat. Thank you. Craig Chadburn says, Lloyd, what's the best way to research if your new move has been used before, please? I love the way most of you decent magicians respect the people before them. It's such a fantastic question. One of the best ways is to show other magicians. So if you have magicians in your private circle that are friends, or people that maybe you don't know, but you know may have an interest in that style of card magic, it's worth just reaching out and saying, hey, either nice to meet you or hello, friend. I've been working on this card move. Can you tell me if anything like this exists or if you've seen anything like it before? And so if you've got a gambling sleight, then maybe reach out to a gambling expert that you can see, even if you don't know them. Most people you find are happy to share their expertise and their knowledge with you and point you in the right direction. The one thing I'll say is that my approach to this is I always assume that the move has been done before. I always assume that the move's been done before. My approach is that it's my job to find out who did it. And only after I've exhausted every avenue of looking do I then think maybe this could be something I created. But you'd be so surprised to find that there's hardly anything new out there that we create. So don't be disheartened if you find that out. Just think, well, if somebody else created it before, then I'm thinking on the right tracks, and maybe I've got a flair for this and see it as a positive. Chuck Magician asks, which one do I prefer, sleight of hand magic or magic that involves gimmick? I have no preference between the two. I'll use whatever comes, whatever method gives me the best outcome for the spectator. So whether that's a gimmick or not, you can't choose for me. Cool Card Tricks Mini says, if you see a trick you really like, want to do, would that person tell you how it's done? Or do they say, not tell him, pal? If I see a trick that I really like and want to do, would that person tell me how it's done? It depends on the person and the trick. Sometimes the secret is really close guarded. Sometimes you're only looking for the nuance. Like, oh, I love that trick, man. What's that little bit you did there to make it tick? Or it depends on who you speak to. My magician fooler tricks, which I haven't shared most of them on the channel, the tricks that I use to fool magicians at conventions, I tend to keep those to myself, personally. B asks, do I or anyone else have any advice on how to grow on TikTok? As I started my Tricks06 magic one a few days ago. That's a good little plug there. I don't even have TikTok, so I couldn't tell you. I'm guessing it's just share content consistently. That's what I do on YouTube. I make sure I hit my schedule. I never miss it. And it just seems to grow. So maybe it's the same on TikTok. Alex Bo said, I think you should have to use your real name on things like the Magic Cafe by using your driving license to verify. I think you should as well, because people can be so hurtful on there when they're anonymous. I think it would be good to pull them up on it. Michael says, I think Blaine did it better on TV, but Penatella kills it in the live show. Exactly my thoughts. Oh, I mean Frankfurt. Yeah, I'll be vlogging Frankfurt if I end up going. Alex says, buy me a session ticket, I'll film you. Is the Magic Cafe still down, says Oliver? I don't know. Let me have a look. Should we have a look? I'll have a look right now. Magic Cafe. Still seems to be down for me. Oh, we got Fiddlin' Johnny in the Sunday service. What's up, buddy? Welcome back. Hope you're having a good weekend, man. Will you put PTL on the deck? Yeah, I'll put PTL on the deck, Matthew Brayman. Can you show us a trick, please? Yeah, I'll show you a trick in a moment. I'm not going to stick around long tonight, guys, because I have to figure out this travel situation. I've totally screwed it up. David Timroth says, any good resources for figuring out attribution? Trying to find out where the idea came from to use an ace of hearts as a visual stand-in for ace of diamonds or vice versa. And Google is unhelpful. I don't know, but it could be as far back as discovery of witchcraft or anything by do you know what? I wouldn't like to guess. The best resources for it though would probably be the Conjuring Arts Research Centre. Don't use Google. Go to Ask Alexander or Dennis Behr's archive. So search in Google for Dennis Behr, B-E-H-R. So Dennis B-E-H-R. It's a German magician that's catalogued and referenced like so many magic books, historical magic books, that and you can search it like a database for sleights. So you could actually go in there and search for attribution, and it can come up. In fact, I'll maybe help you with that right now, just to do it as a fun exercise. But I search for Dennis Behr Archive, and it comes up conjuringarchive.com, and then you can put in the word attribution, and it searches. And it says here, creators, no 3 card pieces, torn in burnt and flash bowl. Let's find where the attribution thing is. You'll have to look through it. Here's a result that I found, but I don't know if the answer is there for you. I just put a link into the thing down below, into the chat box. Brazen says, can't wait for pro caps, let's go. Dark Projection Studio says, where do I email it? Email it to admin@lloydbarnes.co.uk. Magic Seance says, hey stranger, hey Magic Seance, how are you? Somebody was asking me about my phone number. As you'll know, you can attest this, how terrible I am at replying. That's why I won't give out my phone number, as I was saying to somebody earlier. Lots of love from India, says KR20. Magic Seance says, do the Oracle's Almanac. I don't know what that is. Do I know what that is? Am I having a blank moment? Craft with Foe. Hello, I just joined. What's my favourite trick? Favourite trick of all time? I think it might be Out of This World. Or Crazy Man's Handcuffs. Stu Batman. Did I ever get to meet Paul Daniels? Met him when I was a kid in the early 80s. Yeah, I met him at Cardiff Day of Magic when I was 16 years old. And I was with my friend Oliver. And Oliver's small and skinny. And he's a bit taller than me maybe. But he's skinny and I'm fat. And Paul Daniel said to us that we look like Laurel and Hardy, the two comedians from back in the 20s. So, yeah, I did meet him. And I said, well, you look like Yoda. And he laughed. So many comments. What am I catching up to? Magic Sounds. I reached out, but always busy. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. I just got so much going on in the minute. Do you have any awesome A30 says, do you have any good resources to research tricks that you might have created? Oh, well, like I just said, the Dennis Behr archive or the conjuringarchive.com is amazing. Rich Relish, missed a lot of the show. So sorry, so apologies if this mentioned, but maybe to add a magic element, the hot sauce in the hot sauce roulette could genuinely heat up, i.e. temp. Don't have a method though. That could be great. Yeah, that would be amazing. Heat up once it's inside you and then they... Grot Gerson said, what would you say is the hardest and toughest hurdle to overcome when it comes to creating your own deck design, if it should include some prop cards, paper quality, something like that? I would say for me, it's using Illustrator. I design in Photoshop. I've designed in Photoshop for the last 17 years. But when you want to do things like embossing, you have to take those designs and convert them into Illustrator files. And then that uses, because they have to be vectors, which means they have to be perfect quality and not pixelated. And I usually end up going on to Fiverr and having somebody translate my design from Photoshop image, high-res image into a vector AI file. And I find that the process is just go like you have the final design ready to go in your eyes, you take it to the USPCC, and then then they say to you, oh, well, we need it as this needs to be an AI, this needs to be this needs to be that, and I'm not too well versed in the world of print. All my online design stuff is primarily for online, so yeah, it's a bit of a new world for me. But that's the most biggest hurdle I found. Dark Project Studios says, what would you say is the difference between an effect or a technique? Well, an effect is a trick from A to B. A technique is something like a pinky break, right? Or a double lift. So a technique is just a tool that you use to get the car running. And a trick is the car, which is the vehicle, and it's the journey that takes you there. Michael, that is something so true for all creators out there. You want to claim you create something, better make sure you've done your homework and know the references. Yeah. And I've learned from it. I've learned from my mistakes in the past doing that. I think we all have. We all think we create something and find out someone's done it before. Glubix Jordan says, what sources on Memdeck Magic would you recommend? I've only read portions of Mnemonica, and the rest of the stuff I do with it is just things that I've been inspired seeing, and I try not to look up too much stuff, but I do know that Pitt Hartling has a good book called In Order to Deceive. And I think Azzy Wind has his book called Repertoire, which has a bunch of stuff using Mnemonica specifically. So they could be really good resources for things. But I try not to let a lot of my like magic card tricks be influenced by reading other people's routines. Hi Lloyd, I got back to making tutorials on YouTube. Could you please check it out and help with any tips? Yeah, I'll try and find some time to check it out, man. Cedar Silver, do you think there are underground magicians that have amazing ideas that would push magic far forward that just don't have the platform and social engagement to be able to show the world? So many people. I meet so many magicians everywhere I go, every new country I go to. There are always so many magicians that just blow me away, and they don't really ever. Some of them don't want to have the spotlight. They just keep creating for themselves. But one that I always get blown away with, who will probably be at the session, is a guy called Thomas Bader. He's an underground guy. He doesn't have a big online platform like this, and he is just a stone cold killer with a deck of cards. David Teamroth, you're not a real magician until you've invented a move Ed Marlowe already did 50 years ago. Yeah, that's true. I thought I created this incredible triumph routine using 2 pharaohs and the spectators riffle shuffle it, and then my friend Joe Barry was like, "Yeah, that's in Marlowe," and I thought he was saying it as a joke because everyone always says, "Oh, that's in Marlowe." Turns out it was in Marlowe. Sasha Ranau says, I think about the membership for us. Yes, I'm aiming to launch it around the 1st of August. So I'm just putting everything in place for then. Jason Frato says, when's the index going to be released? Hopefully September. Hello, Cedric from France. Bonjour. Did I say that right? B, would you make the deck marked? I would absolutely make the deck marked. It's one of the big hurdles I'm getting over with the design is making it the best marking system ever. There's no reason that you shouldn't be using marked decks because it's basically free magic. You know, when you're picking a deck to use, make sure it's marked because why wouldn't you? Sir Margot says, I'm a big fan of your work, brother. Greetings from Mexico. Man, thank you so much. That means the world to me, man. Honestly, thank you very much. Tiggity said the PTL would look good on either the Jokers or the Ace of Spades. I was thinking on the Joker, to be honest, putting like a little hashtag PTL, maybe hidden the design of it. Okay, the name of the channel is Aziz Adesina. Go and check that channel out, guys. Let him know what you think of it. Brazer, smash the like button if you've been enjoying the Sunday service. Oh, what have we got coming up? What's this? New subscriber, D Panka Loha. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, we got Craig Petty in the chat. Hey, man, just finished training. Can you let me know where you keep your fluffy something light when you aren't using it? Brilliant. Thank you, Craig. Thanks for bringing the tone down. This is payback for what I did to you on your live stream. So everyone drop some fire emojis and some likes in the chat because Craig's in here. What's he saying? Michael, I've been training new entertainers for one of my entertainment companies all day. Super fun. As for the something light, I heard a rumor that Lloyd has a sheep-themed something light. Craig. Don't make me show everyone the photo of the carrot prediction from Blackpool. I'll do it. I'll show them that photo of the carrot prediction. And I'll get banned from YouTube for doing it. Tickety says Dennis Bear has a rubber band trick, right? The one where he named it and he used it with a haunted deck? I don't know. I haven't seen his rubber band trick, but he's an incredible card technician. An incredible... he does a lot of mem deck work. David T. Roth. Oh, attribution as in ascribing a work to a particular person. Oh, thanks to the Dennis Bader. Yeah, that Dennis Bader comes out. You're right, man. Brazen, have you got a variation of Out of This World that this could be possible memes drawn? I have a couple of variations, but I use Stephen Leithwaite's Out of This World from his DVD called Spiral Principle, and I think it's a similar method to one that Leonard Green uses, and it's an incredible method. But if any of you do know Stephen's method, I've added something to the beginning of it which makes it so hard-hitting. Basically, when you have the deck spread face up on the table to show them that there's actually no order, they're not in red, black order, so you can spread it face up. I have them take a photo of it on their phone. And it's a small touch, and it makes a massive impact to the beginning, to the effect, because afterwards, every time they go back and look at that photo to check the order. And it's a tiny presentational touch which goes mountains of way forward to making the effect feel really strong. Craig Petty. Oh God, no. Please, no. Craig, here's a question for you. Somebody asked it earlier. They asked, would I show how the orange trick worked? And I said no, because it's not my trick. But Craig, would you be interested in coming on the week after the session convention to potentially talk to people about your handling of chop? Because they still have to buy the prop to make it work. But it could be interesting to show people what your thoughts are on chop cups in general, and talk to them about maybe your creative process when it came to chop and things like that. So if would you guys be interested in seeing that from Craig? And Craig, would you be interested in coming on the show and showing everyone some chop cup stuff? Punk BMX, welcome back to the stream, man. What's going on, dude? Awesome, mate. Lloyd, while designing your deck of cards, would you consider marking it for at least a suit using something like Knock Market? Yeah, but like I said, I'm going to do a full market sim. Andrew Deal, what's up, Lloyd? Thanks for getting back to me on Instagram. Always love getting on here and chatting with you and everyone else. Thank you so much, and thank you for the very kind offer, Andrew. I will hopefully be taking you up on that offer after the Sesh convention, but thank you for tuning in, dude. The counterpart to the Dynamic Duo is only in the building, says Brazen. Oh, what's this? Michael, another super chat. Dude, thank you so bloody much, mate. Thank you very much, my friend. I don't know why the super chat bar is not going up, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Wow. Craig says, absolutely, I'll do a full teaching on it if that helps. I can also talk about other applications of chop and other ways to use it. Yo, you are my guest. You can take the full floor. If you're happy to come on the week after the session and do that, you're welcome. But what if they kick you out of the magic circle for the third time for teaching on YouTube? But guys, do you want Craig to come on and teach everything about chop and other applications of it? If you do, put in some fire emojis into the chat and drop that like button. Smash the like button, actually. Jean-Luc Garnier says, admit at Illusionist that if you revive Trick's idea to sell without explanation video, that you don't push the concept to the next level or contact back creator, right? I'm not sure. Could you rephrase that question? I'm just struggling to understand it just a little bit. Oh, Salman Kero, Ron. Yo, Ron Salman Kero's in the chat. Ron has one of my favorite tricks of all time. He created one of my favorite tricks of all time. He's from the Philippines. My brother, I went over to the Philippines and filmed him. His trick is called Face Off, and it's one of the best, most fooling tricks I've ever seen. Let's give it up for Ron in the chat, everyone. Sam Sugarman says, you and your whales bashing, Craig. Yeah, exactly. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Craig Petty, says Andrew Deal. Liam says, can I show can you show your ring and rubber band routine? Hear good things about it. I absolutely can, and that's a good point. I'll show this ring and rubber band routine, and then I will think about heading off, because I need to get ready for Germany in the morning. But I'm just grabbing some bits and pieces here. So this uses a borrowed ring and a rubber band. Now, the problem is here, this is a 3-phase routine, but the third phase is a phase you have to physically feel as a spectator. So this has to be done really on a spectator. So it's kind of tricky to show, but the first thing I might drop this is you have a rubber band and a ring, and you can have the spectator put this on, and you say what's going to happen is that this ring and rubber band is going to melt through each other. So first phase looks like this. You can see the rings on the rubber band, and all you have to do is take the ring and then you can hand it out to be examined, or you can just put it straight back on the band like that. The second phase, you'd have them cup their hands out, and you say watch carefully as that ring melts off just like that into their hand. And then the third phase, which I literally need somebody here as my spectator, because this is all about how you feel the rubber band, but you place the ring on the spectator's hand like that with the rubber band trapped on it, and then they hold it like a high five, and they feel the first part of the band come through. Wait, let me reset this. So tricky to do it on myself. So you place the ring on the rubber band, you have them hold their hand up like this, you place the ring over their finger and trap the rubber band on it, and they can feel it. You can actually feel that on there. And then with the ring on their finger, let's make sure this is tight, they feel the first band pop off, and then they really feel the rubber band, and they can see it on their finger melt all the way through like that. It has to be felt. That's the only thing. So if you guys want to learn that real quick, just drop some eye emojis into the chat and I'll teach it super quickly before we head off for the evening. But thanks for the question, Liam. Brendan Lakovich says, howdy Lloyd, just got on. Wonder if you had any time to read my email. Hope you're doing well and have a great day. I haven't had time. I've replied to one of your emails, I believe, right? But I'm not sure if I've replied to the reply of the email. Take a tea for future members of the channel or Patreon backers, if you ever get that. They can see Craig's carrot when they join. They could, but it is absolutely filthy. So it's a strong NSFW warning. Patricia Teles Ferreira, I'm going to buy you a whole sensation here in Portugal. I know I will love it. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not sure. Do you mean the Acme Hole effect? Alex Bow, how'd you get over nerves? I don't know. I don't really get nervous. I get bored. When I'm going to do like a lecture or a talk or something, I just want to do it. I just think my approach is just to get it out of the way. So I don't really have nerves as much as impatience. I just want to do it and be done with it. But maybe ask me that next February. Thanks to Craig, I have something pretty big happening. And I'm probably going to be pretty nervous for that. So I might be able to answer your question a bit better then. Craig knows what I'm talking about. It's thanks to Craig I'm doing this thing. Chop is fantastic, says Andrew Niner. Stu says, so glad to see the Friday rants are back. Think the new format is awesome. Everyone's saying yes. Everyone's dropping some love. Everyone wants to see Craig do the Chop Cup. So there we go. That is a Sunday session then planned for Craig. He's going to be teaching you everything and anything to do with Chop. 2 weeks today, that will be. Oh my God, that's going to be the best. And I'm going to be able to learn from it as well. Seto Silva says, Lloyd, you should have a versus series where you feature two magicians performing the same magic plot in their own way and then let the chat decide on a winner. It could be pro or even underground. That would be pretty cool. I'd be totally down for doing something like that. But maybe not having a winner chosen, but maybe just having them evaluated. Craig Petty will hopefully see each other at the session. Oliver, I'll see you at the session as well then. Thank you, Craig. Hope you and Sister Kay and your boy are having a fantastic day and see you Tutorial Tuesday. Hell yeah, I've already filmed Tutorial Tuesday and edited it. It's in the bag. Orange emojis for Chop. It would be an honor to learn from Craig. Yeah, it totally is. Killian's Magic says, Twilight Angel is such a great trick. Purely unbelievable. Yeah, that's a Paul Harris trick called Twilight Angels. It's amazing. But I have a version of it on my channel recently that I put up if you want to check it out. Killian's Magic. Killian? Will I see you at the session, Killian? Face Off, the ultimate blessing from Lloyd and the PTL. Yeah, Face Off is one of my favorite tricks of all time. Jean-Luc Gagnier says, I mean, if I have an idea without a video attached to it, will you contact me back? Or do I need a little teaser video to get me to the next stage, you guys? I got more fun ideas. Like with Gaff first, Arcane. All right, okay. Well, I don't work for Illusionist. So if you want to try to get an Illusionist release, you wouldn't hear back from me because I don't work for them. But yeah, I mean, depending on what the idea is, you know, you can hope to get a response. Sometimes companies won't respond to you if they're not going to take your idea any further, just because they get so many ideas. But you stand a much better chance of your submission getting accepted if you do have a video. And these days, you really should be able to make a video, even if you have to make your prototype out of paper and pencil. You should be able to do that, and I think it'll help you a lot. Sorry, Lloyd, phone died, says Lee Holmes. All right, the eye emojis are all coming through. I'll teach you the trick really quick. Craig says, gotta bounce. I'll put it in my diary for 2 weeks. Say, have a great time in Germany. Thank you so much. Okay, so already learned it back. You did it for Illusionist, but would love a refresher. All right, so Mr. Justin Patrick, 16, yo, found your channel a few days ago and love it. Thank you so much, Justin. All right, so I'll teach you this really quickly. And then I'm going to head off and pack and get ready for Germany. But it's basically a 3-phase routine. The third phase is the best phase. A friend of mine used this in his Close-Up Magician of the Year competition and won, as this was one of the parts of the routine, one of the pieces he put in there. The third phase happens. It's very rare to have a sensation like this, but I hope you'll understand it. And if any of you have a ring and a rubber band at home, practice this on yourself and try to understand the sensation that the spectator will feel. It's one of the most magical sensations I've ever created. But I'll show you the whole thing. So you have the first phase, which is to take the ring off the band, or you can put it back on. It doesn't matter. And what that is that basically, I love the JW grip, right? But it's always used for the same thing. I figured, why not use the JW grip in a ring and rubber band routine? Because I think that's a really good looking illusion. So the first part of the effect is you hold your hand already in the JW grip position. And as you're just moving the ring back and forth, you're just going to grip it up here and pretend to pull one strand at a time and take it off. But really the ring's there. But look how nice that illusion looks. You got the ring here, you can show it moving, and then you say, watch, we'll take that ring off the band, and you snap those bands, and then you say, look, you can hold on to it, or we can, and before they get a chance to take it, you say, oh, we put it back on. And as you come back to put it back on, your hand comes to the top of your fingers, so up here, and you just reposition it like that, as if it was always in your fingertip. So at speed, you go like this, you say, take it off, there we go, you can hold on to it, or you can just put it back on, it's entirely up to you. So that's the first phase. The second phase is Crazy Man's handcuffs, but done on the fly. So Crazy Man's handcuffs is where you have 2 rubber bands, so not a ring. And as you pull back, where this band is pinched with these 2 fingers, see I'm pinching, I can take my index fingertip out and place it into the next loop. Like that. But I'm going to do this in an up and down motion without any tension on the band. And the ring helps with the weight. It's the ring that does the work for you here. So you have the spectator cup their hands out, you say 1, 2. On 2 is when you do the move, not 3. So you go 1, 2, and it's so hard to do it slow. Let me try. I can only do this fast. You're doing Crazy Man's one-handed with this. So you go 1, 2, 3, and it'll come off. But it's got to be done. It's so hard to do slow, but essentially you're doing Crazy Man's one-handed, and the ring helps with the weight of it, and it'll pop it off. But done at speed, it just pops off the string. It looks like magic. The third phase is you have somebody put their hand up like a high five, and you put the ring over their middle finger, and you're going to wedge it down like this, right? So if you've got a ring and rubber band at home, please follow along because it feels like real magic to them. But I'm going to wedge it in this position, right, on their hand. So they see this image. I'm seeing this image. Because it's wedged, you've got a lot of freedom here, but essentially you can do the Crazy Man's move again, but you can actually do it like freestyle. You could actually, if you wanted to, take your finger out and leave that there. The important thing is that you make sure their fingers are tight together like you're going to do a high five, and that stops any bands showing. So from this position, you're going to take your index finger out and place it back in this side of the band here, and then your thumb is going to hold onto the strand, one strand of the band, And that's going to allow the first strand penetration to happen like this. I'm just going to pull. So hard to show you. But I'm going to let my thumb basically just pop the band. So, boom. Now, this is the magic part. This piece of band is stuck under the ring. But from their point of view, they can even spread their fingers now. It looks like it's one strand of rubber band under the ring. And because you're going to pull and there's tension on the ring itself, this will slowly move away. And they'll actually feel that band melt off the ring. What feels like it melts off the ring. So in slow motion, this is what happens. And they can feel that band going through the ring. And from their point of view, they can see the angle and they feel it, and people just lose their minds. But it is a physical trick. So that last phase, pop, from their point of view, they see this. Let me see, where's the angle? And they feel it, boom, off. And they're left with their ring on their finger. So that's called steadfast. I've been doing this routine for about, I put it in Odyssey, I think. So 12, 13 years. And it's one of my favorite tricks ever to perform on people. Michael says, moo. Craig, say for one final joke. Can we get a fool him where your wife tries to fool you? Absolutely we can. Killian says, you'll see me at the session and check out my channel for your version of Twilight Angel that I made for your free tutorial. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for doing that. Bye, Craig the man. John Luke says, even if it's like homemade a lot with great French Quebecer accent, I guess. Thanks. Yeah. People, we can always tell when the idea is good, even if the gimmicks and the props and the prototypes are just homemade. It's always about the idea that's important. So that's all they're looking for. Killian says it's fantastic to have free tutorials from young magicians with no income. It's why I do it, because I was a young magician with no income, and it was so hard to find magic that I wanted to perform. So I figure I'm paying it forward. Jean-Luc says, what a good idea with the ring. Thank you, dude. Stu Batman says, so effective. Andrew Niner says, what am I doing in Germany? I'm going to see the premiere of Looking for Erdnase. I've been invited to the premiere for the new documentary on who is behind Erdnase. So I'm flying over there tomorrow, 5 a.m. to catch that premiere. It'll be pretty good fun. Oh my God, Michael, thank you, Matt. Thank you so much, man. He says for the super chat, $5 super chat. Doesn't matter if you know how this works or not. The subtlety of how the trick works is brilliant. Thank you so much, Michael. You are a diamond, mate. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. Liam Lebanon says, amazing routine. That third phase is insane. Yeah, Liam, next time I'm at Blackwell, I'll do that. Do it. Go and perform it on someone. Honestly, people just lose their mind because they feel it on their skin. It's so good. Dark Projection Studio says, that's genius. A wonderful mix of techniques, 4 effects. Man, gonna go. Good. I don't know. GG stands for, I can't remember what it stands for. Fire emojis from Luke. Loving banter. Thank you all. Thanks so much for all the love, everyone. Jacob says, can you please come up with a rubber band through sweater lace? Like this? Rubber band through sweater lace. All right. What if I... like this? Can you guys see that? Let me see. Where's the angle for you? Okay, so my sweater lace is there. Let's see. And the rubber band is through it, and then maybe something like that. Jordan says, will you let us know when the film is out and how to watch? Yeah, I believe if you go to finding-erdnase.com, let me see what that is. Finding Erdnase. I'll put the link in the chat for you. Oh, erdnase-film.com. I'll put that in the chat. Then y'all can go and check it out. I think it starts streaming on August the 6th, maybe. Oh, Liam, dude, thank you so much. And David, bloody hell. Guys, thank you all so much. Liam, David, for the super chats. You guys are absolute legends, honestly. Bloody hell. Thank you very, very much. You didn't have to do that, guys, honestly. To help with the taxi in Germany. David, yes, I'm going to need the help for the taxi in Germany. Otherwise, we're gonna miss it. What challenge next week, Lloyd? Well, Dave, you set the parameters for the bet. I'll make the bet with you, and then somebody mentioned that they have their own extremely hot sauce, so maybe they can send that to you if you lose, and you have to drink that one. All right, that looked so good. Oh, thank you so much, Jacob. Is the Lloyd and Craig convention in the pipeline? We haven't talked about it for a while, but we still want to do it. Phil and Joy says, I hope to do an interview with the director Hans on Looking for News on my channel. Keep an eye out for that. Oh, amazing. Wow, yeah, that's great. I can't wait to see that. If you want me to say anything to him when I'm there tomorrow, then let me know. David T. Roth, new Sunday session, stable rubber band through increasingly unlikely objects. A year from now, it's a rubber band through a horse. I could totally put a rubber band through a horse. I couldn't do that. All right, well, guys, look, it's coming up on... I was only planning to do about 45 minutes today. Alex Bow, a limousine for Sister K. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you, honest to God. You did not need to do that. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, limousine. We're going to need a wing and a prayer to somehow get there on time tomorrow. I literally don't know how we're going to do it, so... Which is like, I'm an idiot for booking the wrong airport. Jordan, thank you for tuning in, pal. I'll tell Hans hello from you, Phil and Johnny. Yeah, he seems like a wonderful guy. I want more rubber band things. You're so good. Oh, thank you, Jean-Luc. I really appreciate that. Well, look, guys, I got to head off. I have a lot to do. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Extra thanks for the super chats. Tigger T, what are you doing? Yo, I love that I've done things at random. I love tricks that I've done with random things. Oh, yo, thank you so much. You are all honestly blowing me away. You don't need to do that. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It goes a really long way to helping us all out as well. So, I love you all. I hope you all have a good weekend, what's left of it. You'll see me on the next side of the vlog, and don't forget to tune in on Tuesday. I've already filmed Tutorial Tuesday. It's a real fun one, super visual, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be caught out by it maybe, so you'll have fun with it. As always, thank you all so much. I love you all, and I will see you in the vlog. No, you'll see me on Tuesday, and then there'll be a vlog from Germany, from Frankfurt. But yep, see you guys soon. Thank you all for tuning in. Ciao.